Montreal. I know there's a lot of people cheering. I'm one of them, cheering for Mark Trestman and Chicago Bears this year. Nice 2-0 start, and great story with him and G-Roy Simon. All the talk about him closing in on Ben Cahoon's record.
First down, Roughriders. Darian Durant looked like he was looking for Simon. He's got him. G-Roy Simon has tied Ben Cahoon at 10-17.
Great question you gave G-Roy Simon, Chris, yesterday in our discussion. Is there anyone that, when you broke the yardage record, that sent you a note or said hi? And he said, yeah, Mark Trestman wrote me a handwritten letter. G-Roy Simon ties the record. He wants everything to quiet down now, though, so we can continue with the drive.
Fans were on their feet, a standing ovation, and the offense wants to quiet the crowd so they can call the next play. First down in Lion territory, and there's a pass, gets away, and just tripped up, or he had a lane to the end zone. It's another Saskatchewan first down at the 35. Fans want to celebrate the record tying play, but the Roughriders say we've got business to take care of here.
Well, and that's typical G-Roy Simon. It's the milestone to tie the record, but more importantly, he's got a drive to complete here.
First down. Simon stays in the block. Durant in trouble. Drops the football. And I think the Lions know they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Eric Taylor arguing that that was a fumble. But the heat was on the quarterback once again.
Karan Williams from behind was the guy providing that heat. He moves back inside with Chris Wilson's addition. Here he comes from the backside. Just a little bit of forward movement, almost just from the wrist of Darian Durant. This will be a better angle.
Challenge flag has come out for BC. And although that doesn't look like a typical throwing motion, was that enough of a sidearm flick to get away with an incompletion?
Yeah, that's the question here. I mean, he's got his arm. It almost is from his wrist and his hand that he flicks it forward. Now, is that enough to rule that that was a forward passing motion?
On the field of an incomplete pass. We'll review the play.
And we should note that Karan Williams was making contact and pulling the arm at the time.
If in fact Durant is flicking the wrist to create an incompletion, that's a dangerous play, because you leave it in the hands of the official now in the command center to determine whether or not that's a fumble or an incompletion. Well, we're being told that although it looked like the Lions had a good shot at the ball, that Devin Tyler may have come up with the football to save it for Saskatchewan, so they might just be debating about whether or not this is a loss and a sack. And it is good hustle by Devin Tyler to make sure it's going to be Rough Rider football regardless.
The quarterback had possession of the ball. As the arm was going forward, the ball went forward.
That was
Pass
enough.
is incomplete. Second down.
So that was enough. The arm, the wrist, Darian Durant's hand moving forward was enough to show that throwing action. Incomplete pass.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
And G-Roy Simon was right there. It was behind the line of scrimmage, but he was right there, so there was a receiver close enough.
They'll reset, and now Simon goes in motion to the wide far side of the field. There's a pass, and it's dropped. Dante Marsh dropped what would have been the 29th career interception for the veteran, and that's a couple of bad drops for the Lions secondary in this game.
Well, Todd Smith was working one-on-one on Dante Marsh, and Todd Smith got up just upset that he thought he was interfered with, and Marsh got up, and now he's upset because he thought he had an interception and should have. It was right off his shoulder pad. Would have been his 29th career.
And he'll probably hear about that all next week. And Chris Milo comes on. Can't hit the upright again, Kenny. Flag down, right down the middle for Milo. Let's find out what this flag's all about. Milo from 42, but does it stand?
Legal formation, no end. Saskatchewan. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So they make it even tougher on the kicker now.
Well, he's fighting some mental demons right now. I can guarantee it. Those goalposts are looking like telephone poles.
Well, he nailed it from 42 and now has to redo it 5 yards further back. Tim Brown awaiting in case he misses. But Milo's back on target. Chris Milo gets the Roughriders within 6. Under 10 left here at Mosaic. Corey Chamberlain's Roughriders try to snap a 2-game losing streak and move into a first-place tie. Mike Benavides' Lions with a win would tie the Roughriders for second. Game in the balance here with 9:56 to go in the fourth quarter. BC with a 6-point lead in the football. First down and a reverse. Sean Gore coming around. And Gore has a first down and more up near midfield at the 54.
Thomas DeMarco comes around on this reverse and tries to get involved. I think Ricky Foley kind of sees him and just basically runs over the speed bump, but he tries. He gets out there. Gotta give him made for effort. Is watch 16 just falling to left. You'll see him in a second. Comes down, tries to cut right here on Ricky Foley. Foley just, yeah, okay, I can get right over that. Slowed him down enough though.
19-yard run for Gore. 6th run of the year for Sean Gore. And there's Courtney Taylor out of the backfield. Short gain for Taylor, just nudging into Rough Rider territory.
Rough Riders seem to have calmed down the secondary a little bit. All the changes that were going on, they're still making substitutions. Jarrell Kowali came in, play linebacker, and he's getting instructions right now as to what to do.
Carlos Thomas done for the day. Like Dwight Anderson's now on the corner. Second down, DeMarco and Nick Moore in coverage with Eddie Russ. Got tangled up with Russ and hit the deck, and it falls incomplete.
I think this was just Nick Moore went down. Eddie Russ, little push as they get down, a little hand fighting, and just lost his balance, went down, and Eddie Russ continued on.
So McCallum to kick it away. His 10th punt of the game. And Tristan Jackson at the 13-yard line surrounded Adam Bighill down in a hurry. Make sure he's not going anywhere. So G. Roy Simon has matched his season high with 5 catches and 1 more for Canadian Football League history.
Looking for the 1,018th catch. It's Ty Ben Cahoon. Close to 3,000 more yards than Ben Cahoon, the only player in CFL history with over 16,000 yards receiving.
From the 16, hand off to Garrett. And Chris Garrett upended at the 22-yard line. Tackle made by the 10-year veteran, Corey Banks. 6 for Garrett, 2nd and 4. Start for the Rough Riders, their deepest in their own zone in this game. Looking for Rob Bagg, got the catch at the 25-yard line.
Was it enough? It depends on the spot of the football here.
They're going to be a yard short, or Well, again, yes, if they put the ball right on the 25, he had to get close to the 26.
Just over the 25-yard line, and they will bring the chains out to measure this.
And if short, this might be an uncomfortable decision for Corey Chamberlain.
Well, it's inside of a yard. You think he'll go get it, especially where they are in the game, and it's inside of a yard, but it is short.
Watch the ball, sir.
This point in this, where you are on the field, makes it uncomfortable.
So Drew Willie comes into the game. Interesting pass to Begg in that the next man in the same line of fire was number 81, and you wondered if that's the direction he was throwing in. So they need the length of the football. Big boys will hunker down. And Drew Willie with the push. Behind Dominic Picard, and they've got it.
Yep, should have it. Rob Bagg and Geroy Simon are discussing things as they walk back on the field for this new set of downs. And could this be the time for that progression? We talked about the quick game and the hitches they've been running. I just watched them from the bench all the way to the huddle. And they're not going to work together on this play.
First and 10, Durant, Ty Smith, and Smith underneath is immediately taken down, a short gain, and another passing situation upcoming. 3 for Smith, who's been the busiest receiver. And now 8 catches in the game.
Done a lot of games in Saskatchewan, and is this as quiet as I've heard it in a long time? And the importance of the game, the importance of this play, our offense out there, but even when it's BC with the ball.
Simon stays in to block. Durant overthrowing Chris Garrett, and the punt team will have to come on.
Guess who was causing problems for Durant when you talk about the accuracy of this throw? 79, Eric Taylor in the middle. Just gets a push right over Dominic Picard and drives him back, hands up, drives him back in the face of Durant. He has to throw around the pressure and just can't step in and be accurate on that throw because Chris Garrett may have had some room down the sideline.
Tim Brown up over the 45, tried to twist away and lost a few yards. And he'll be dropped at the 43. Neil Hughes, who had such a solid game last week, replacing Corey Sheets, was in on the tackle.
Now the crazy talk from Thomas DeMarco as he comes out there and talks out loud to himself is a long drive capped by a score here can seal the deal, make it a 2-possession game, and take a ton of time off the clock. Now we're going to hear the Saskatchewan crowd. Still not quite as loud as it's been in past games.
Quick toss left side, Andrew Harris looking for an opening, and none there as he's brought down after a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Craig Butler at the bottom of the pile.
I just think this crowd may be a little nervous about this team in this situation. I mean, the Riders dropped one here. Obviously, they go to a 3-game losing streak, and there's a lot of people in Rider Nation reaching for the panic button. Half are cheering and half are kind of sitting nervously.
Well, last year there were 4- and 5-game losing streaks. Andrew Harris, 9 touches, 26 yards in the game. 2nd and 8. Pressure, down he goes, and it gets loud now.
Foley. Ricky Foley got there.
2nd of the game for the former BC Lion, Ricky Foley.
Stepped it up, working opposite end with John Chick, both in that down 4-point stance. Gets an inside move on Ben Archibald. And Thomas DeMarco had a chance to throw it in the first read, but when he went to go to his second, 95 was in his lap.
10th 2 and out of the game. Good boot by McCallum. Sends Jackson back inside his 25. But he finds something there, and a little room up to the 37 for Tristan Jackson. Jason Araki on the tackle. Well, the primary goal is a go-ahead touchdown. Will there be a catch along the way for 81 to make history? Darian Durant with 43 attempts in the game after 49 last week. So without Corey Sheets, it's a different looking offense, isn't it?
Yeah, they went away from the run after that first quarter.
Durant with a pump, now looks back this side, and Rob Bagg is open, and Bagg will be drilled at the 40.
It's one of the things that maybe we haven't talked about enough is the tackling by the BC Lions. Whether it be Josh Bell, in that case I believe it was Corey Banks coming up there with Cord Parks and Ryan Phillips, but the secondary for the BC Lions, a team that has struggled on the road, and a defense that has struggled on the road. This is a defense that gave up 32 points on average on the road, 19 at home. They're playing well on the road, tackling well.
Second down, over the middle, and the pass tip was intended for one. Didn't arrive.
Yes, it was. Tried to get it there, and Karan Williams doesn't allow the football to get there, but that's exactly where Darian Durant was looking, and it was Josh Bell in coverage in the one-on-one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, timed his jump, knocked it down.
Ricky Schmidt unloads. Brown fields at 25. Brian Peters, the tackle, as Brown gets it to the 35, a 44-yard punt. G-Roy Simon's record-setting performance on hold. Lions by 6.
Get in.
Nail biter to wrap up week 13. Week 14 ahead will begin with these Lions in Winnipeg. Roughriders will cap next weekend in Montreal. We'll have both of those. Look forward to those. But this final 250 will be interesting, and they've got the crowd ramped up here, but now Murray Clark is going to go to the timekeeper's bench and just make sure they've got the right time on the clock, we believe.
Well, through that break, the Rider defense, to a man, were getting the crowd involved, waving their arms up in the air. The bench was doing the same. Not necessarily the old linemen. They don't usually do that, but the rest were getting them, and this takes a little bit of the wind out of those sails. There they go again. Try and make it tough on Thomas DeMarco here.
Lions with a 6-point lead would love to use this drive to get it back to 2 scores. Oh, sidearm toss for short yardage. Sean Gore taken down quickly by Craig Butler.
Now that play happened too fast. Crowd rushed that play a little bit. Another test for a young quarterback. Handle the situation and the crowd.
4 receivers wide side, and they draw it to Andrew Harris. He's got blocking, and Andrew Harris cuts back for the first down.
Great call.
Jiro Kowali with the tackle, but Andrew Harris has his best run of the game, and the Lions have a very important first down.
Well, and one of the most gutsy and excellent calls from Jacques Chapdelaine in recent memory. It's if you're second and that long, a draw play is sometimes a surrendering play. But it works, and what a great call that was. Element of surprise there all the way.
First down, fake to Harris, and now looking up top, McMoore jump ball, and it's incomplete. Prince Miller there to break it up.